Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3. It's your gal, Juliberry. Hello, hello, everybody. How are we doing today? Happy Sunday. Hope y'all had a great weekend, and I hope tomorrow is a good Monday for you all. I forgot to open stream labels. I love how I have like the starting soon screen to help me do any last minute things that I forgot, and I just totally forget to open stream labels, which I kind of need in order for the things to change, you know? But how are we? Oh my goodness. Sushi! Oh my gosh. You're the #1 Juliberry stan? Oh my gosh, we might have some competition. Who's the bigger stan? How are you doing, Sushi? I hope your trip was nice and fun. Also, hello Blueberry, hello Christy May. I got the little colored lamp on today. Today it's purple. Today it's purple. I feel like I should do a channel point thing where you're still on the bus. Lol. I hope it's been chill so far. Oh my gosh, that's a long bus ride. Holy cow. Last time I was on a bus for like hours upon hours. Oh man, I feel like that was from a trip from high school to a different high school for a game, an away game. Like it was like a 3-hour bus ride. Ridiculous. But you know what? Anything for the football games, you know? But oh my goodness, I think I should do a channel points where people can choose which color they want the lamp to be, because right now it's purple. Who is that? Who is that? Oh, it's Snapchat telling me that I have people. 3-hour ride pulling in the next 10 minutes. Snaps, let's go. I have a high school football game right outside my house. Yo, let's go. Oh my goodness. Well, guys, today I'm bringing it back. I am bringing back SBI Sunday. But oh my goodness. No, you're not late, Manny. Welcome in. Welcome in. How you doing? Also, I forgot to, but happy birthday. Thank you, Sushi. I appreciate you, fam. That's very sweet of you. Oh man. But yes. Forgot to say, I got you. Today, I am bringing back SBI Sunday. Bro, Barbie was so good. Oh my gosh, Barbie was fantastic. I loved that movie. Loved it. It was really nice to watch with my sisters. But yes, for those who don't know what SBI Sunday is, SBI stands for Sleepy Boys Inc., which is the quad of Technoblade, Philza Minecraft, Wilburset, and Tommy in it, and people kind of put them as a little found family together when they were streaming on the Dream SMP, and yeah, so now people have kind of dabbled off, made their own alternate universe stories, or AUs, and for the mood lighting, dude, I was fiddling around with my camera settings this weekend. I was dabbling in the mic stuff, like, dude, I got all the stuff going on. I hope it sounds okay on y'all's end, but yeah, I'm super excited to do my little reading voice with the mic. But yeah, I got the mood lighting. I got some Oreos right here. They're my little birthday Oreos. They're almost all gone. But I got my water, got my chapstick. But yeah, I'm excited to read. So yeah, so that SBI Sunday is basically me reading those fics out loud. I have a bunch of videos up on my VODs channel. I sometimes will take the VOD, cut it down, and put it on my main channel. So if you ever want to go in and listen to some silly little stories, those videos are there forever. But yeah, anything else going on my end? Well, I mean, not really. I got older. I'm now 23. I changed my age on all the platforms, so that was cool. It's like hitting a different level. I was also reading a fic, not about SBI, but a fic nonetheless. Hey, that's fun. I've been reading other fandoms fics as of late. Ooh. If you're in the Discord, you probably saw the thing about this in the community tab, but if you're not in the Discord, which you should be, I'm doing a new thing to where for each month my Discord profile picture will be a different fan art. So this, for the rest of this month and September, Emmy's fan art gift to me is now my profile picture, and AV_Eclipse is the banner of my profile. So if you want to have your art featured, definitely use the hashtag Juliberry fan art, and you could be the next PFP. It's just a fun little thing that I have, because, you know, people keep making all these amazing things, and, you know, yes, that they share them and they post them on their profile picture, or they post them on their profile, but I really want to show my appreciation for you guys. And I know we do have the fan art thing, the wheel of fan art. Look, there she is, right there, hashtag Juliberry fan art. But yeah, so that's something else. But today, I am so excited to just kind of be reading again. We haven't been able to do a Tommy Tuesday in a hot second. Kit's been super busy, which we totally respect. We don't want to put any pressure on them. Bro, it got me kicking. Dude, hey, if you want, you can put it in the Fanfic Rex channel on the Discord. If it's fluffy and it's got you kicking your feet, oh my goodness, I might need to check it out myself. Oh, I'm so excited to read this fic. I've been wanting to read it for a while because I love this person's writing. I love it. And if you don't know who I'm talking about, I am talking about none other than our very own Cat Ocean. Cat, we read one of Cat's fic here on SBI Sunday a little bit earlier this year. If you don't know what it is, it's called Full Throttle. For about that, you like America's favorite fine French man. Hey, if you like it and if you think the people would like it, then put it in the Discord. I love it when people share their interests. It really engages the community. But yeah, so Kat here wrote Full Throttle, which is a racing alternate universe. It is on the SBI Sunday playlist on the VODs channel. I really should have made that like a serious thing, but it was just too long. It's too much of a read, react, read, chat kind of vibe. But as of now, this fic has 2 chapters, so I thought we would just go ahead and read them. So let me go ahead and pull up the lore playlist. Now we know how we love the lore playlist here on the Juliberry channel. I recently added new things to it. So let's see. Jay's lore playlist. Oh yeah. Okay. Now it's not supposed to be super loud, so if you can't hear it, that's okay. Let me take down Spotify. Do I risk not pausing alerts? Yeah. Yeah, I should. It's funny. It's funny. Alright. Alright. Oh my gosh, I forgot how much I love doing this. I'm gonna go ahead and close my door all the way, just in case. Back here now. And I'm back. Yo, whoever just joined the Discord, welcome. Welcome, welcome. We're so happy to have you. Oh my goodness. All right. Now, should probably make an announcement that I'm live. Hold on. I forgot to do that. Now you guys get to stare at my face while I do this. What should it... Not my resume. What? Get out of here. Wattpad is so underrated because of a few books. Okay, I will say, yeah. Wattpad does have some underrated stuff. Hold on. Go to this. There we go. Chat, everyone say hi in chat. I'm gonna take a screenshot. It's gonna be so freaking cute. Yes! Cuties! Do a little hand heart. Should I do it over here? I can't do that. I'll do figure hearts. Oh my gosh. Y'all are precious. What the heck? Aw, love, love, love. Chat says hi. Because I'm live. And then I hit him with the good old social plug. Shazam! Slay! Okay, we just posted on twitter.com. Ah! No, the jump scare! Oh my gosh. Ugh. I did not expect that. Anywho, where was I going with this? Oh my gosh. Okay. Good as gold. Alright. Hello, Julie, I just got here. Am I late? No, you're not late. We're just getting started. I was about to go through and read the tags real quick. But welcome, The Hidden Mask. We are reading a superheroes, superpowers, alternate universe. Hero Wilbur Soot, Vigilante Tommy Innit. Wilbur and Tommy are siblings. Wilbur protective, hurt Tommy, hurt comfort, angst with a happy ending. So we're getting our happy ending, guys. Don't fret. Sleepy Boys as found family, blood and injury, miscommunication, SBI is, oh wait, I already read that. Enemies to teammates to brothers, lots of sibling miscommunication. Tommy has a bad time in this one, but it gets better, I swear. It is currently at 10k words. If it ends up being too long for the first chapter, we might stop at chapter 1 and then move over to maybe a different fic, like a one-shot. But if it's not too bad, we'll read the second chapter. And then, yeah, so that's where we're at right now. It's 2 out of 6 chapters right now. Also, hello, Justice. I see you have now entered the chat. Welcome in. But yes, today we are going to be reading Good as Gold by Your Eyes Look Like the Ocean. The city sprawls in front of him, as dense and expansive as moss growing off the side of a house. Tommy's ivy tightens, digging his ribs uncomfortably into the railing as it urges him forward. Go, its pressure says. Take the jump. Tommy doesn't want to. Tommy, staring at a 6-story drop to past pasty white concrete below, thinks he might throw up, pass out. In the best case scenario, he might wake up and find out that this was all some horrible nightmare, and he's not actually sprouting vines from his hands. He doesn't actually have a superpower, Tommy thinks with startling clarity for the very first time. I have a superpower. I can't have a superpower. Or Tommy, after an argument with his older brother Wilbur, develops a superpower. In an effort to prove himself, he decides to use his power for good and become Gold, the city's new and highly illegal vigilante. Unknown to him, he's not the only one keeping a secret identity. Dun dun dun! Oh, it's about to get good. The drama. So guys, I'll be reading chat as I read, but yeah, normally I read stuff off as I read through SBI Sunday. It's different than Tommy Tuesday because it's with kids, so normally I would read stuff after. I will not be accepting advice at this time. If you want to put something in the Discord, feel free to. I have channels for venting, rambling, spam. If you want to put something, just ask me something, put it in the Discord. I probably won't answer DMs or anything. So yeah, just for future stuff. But yes, okay. I am so excited to read this. Let me know if the music's too loud. Just need it to be background noise. Turn it down just a bit. Okay. Funny story, this was actually supposed to be for day one of hashtag SBI Week 2023. Whoops, the AU sort of spiraled out of control, and now instead of a single chapter fic, it's more like 6. Buckle up. Chapter trigger, or content warnings, sorry. Mentions of past abuse, brief panic attack, botanophobia. If you fear plants, this fic is not for you. I hope no one here has a fear of plants, because that seems to be the theme of this thing. So, if you need to step away at any point in the fic, please feel free to. You're A-okay here. Alright. Chapter 1. Tommy comes home from school early that day. He's not sick, but he is suspended. Again, Tommy? Wilbur asks, pushing open the door to their double-bedroom apartment and letting it slam shut behind him. Seriously? Tommy stood at the counter that divides the kitchen from the tiny square of carpet they'd consider their living room. Winces. He ducks his head over the plastic cup he's filling with water at the sink. There are faded Spider-Man illustrations on the side, remnant of his childhood, or Wilbur's. He's honestly not sure whose cup it used to be, and it's not like his parents are around to tell him. It's just him and Wilbur now. Has been for 7 years. Sorry, he mumbles, but Wilbur either doesn't hear him or doesn't care. His brother raves on. I got the call 3 hours into my shift. I had to leave early to sort it out with your principal. Why can't you just behave? The thud of a paper bag hitting the counter beside him punctuates Wilbur's question. Tommy instantly recognizes it as coming from the diner Wilbur works at, Q's Burgers. It's probably their dinner for that night, which is great, because Tommy looked in the fridge this morning and there was nothing but a half-empty bottle of ketchup, 2 strawberries, and a can of corn. Not even the good corn. It was the shitty store brand kind that tastes like plastic. Speaking of plastic, his cup is overflowing. Tommy yanks it out of the stream and shoots a pointed glare at Wilbur. Listen, Will, if you were there, you'd know that kid was being a jerk. I couldn't just not punch him. What? Yes, you could have. Tommy pivots, turning his back on his distraught older brother. He loves Wilbur. He really does, but Wilbur doesn't get it. He's not in school anymore. He dropped out of high school the minute he turned 18, choosing to get a full-time job, adopt Tommy, and move into an apartment instead. No more foster homes, no more separation. For a while, it was like living in paradise. Then the kids at school found out. Tommy stalks across the cracked kitchen tile to the stovetop window. It's small and high up, but lining its sill are all the plants Tommy's ever owned. A tiny cactus, a pot of lavender, jade, snake plant, and orchids. He's particularly fond of the marigolds. The blooms are sunshine yellow, glowing whenever they catch the evening sun. I couldn't, Will. You don't understand. You could. It's not hard. You just think to yourself before you do something. Is this a bad idea? Would this get me in trouble? Would this get me yanked out of school? And if the answer to any of those questions is yes, then don't do it. This is the 5th time. Tommy grits his teeth against the familiar sting of tears. It's not the first time he's cried today, and it certainly won't be the last. Carefully, he tips the Spider-Man cup against the marigold's dirt. I can't keep doing this with you, Wilbur continues, and he's pacing now. Tommy can hear the living room floor creaking under his feet. If he tries, he can even imagine what Wilbur's doing with his hands. carting them through his hair and tugging, just like the last 4 times Tommy came home suspended. You need to stay in school. I can't keep getting these calls during my shift. I have to make money to keep us here, and I can't do that if I'm always babysitting you. Are you even listening, Tommy? Tommy, look at me when I'm talking to you. Something in Wilbur's voice snaps, and Tommy jumps. He's pretty sure the whole apartment complex jumps, actually, at the force of his brother's words. The jade plant in front of him quivers. When he turns around, Wilbur has one palm braced against the counter, the other gripping his jacket so hard his fingers are white. His cheeks turn pink, eyes wide, and he's breathing hard. When his eyes meet Tommy's, something like regret flickers in them before sputtering out. He says nothing, so Tommy speaks instead. I'm sorry, he says, vision blurring. I don't mean to... Hi, Molly. Hello. First time catching Julie reading, shoot. I know, my accent's a bit silly. I always do my best, though. But yes, oh, I forgot. There's a command. So if you guys want to read along with what I am reading, here... Oh, that's the wrong one! That's not it. Ignore that one. It's fanfic, guys. There we go. Ignore that first one. That's the command for when we're reading The Golden Phoenix on Tommy Tuesday. Today is SBI Sunday. Dude, if I had a nickel for every command I had for, like, something, I would have so many nickels. But welcome, Molly. I'm so happy to see you in chat. Welcome in. It's time to... We're in serious mode. We're in serial mode. The Crimebois are fighting. They're fighting. The girls are fighting! Okay. That's so neat. Yeah! Dude, Stream Elements and Stream Labs, a godsend. We love them. Alright. I'm Tommy in it. I gotta get into character. I'm really glad I could come. Alright. I don't mean to be such a problem for you. Something you have to babysit. Tommy. No, I get it, okay? I fucked up. But if you would just take 5 minutes to ask me why I did what I did. Tommy, it doesn't matter why you did what you did. Wilbur's shouting again. Despite not having stepped foot in a foster home in 7 years, it brings Tommy back to the last place he lived before Will got him out. The house with the dad who got drunk all the time, and the mom who cried in the bathroom when she thought no one would hear. The one where Tommy hid in his closet on occasion, tucking his knees to his chest and hoping, praying that no one would find him, wishing Wilbur would come save him. And then, one day, Wilbur did. Now Wilbur is screaming. You don't punch someone over anything! I thought I raised you better than that. You use words or talk to an adult, preferably something that doesn't get you suspended for the 5th time this school year. He wouldn't listen to me. He's been saying stuff all year and I'm sick of it. Then you be the bigger person and walk away. Tell someone. I tried to tell you, but every time you come home from work, you're exhausted, and I didn't want to make you deal with this on top of everything else. But apparently I shouldn't have worried about inconveniencing you because I'm already a problem. Wilbur's hand slams on the countertop. Tommy freezes, tears in his eyes. You're not a problem, Tommy, Wilbur says. And it sounds like he's speaking through gritted teeth, actively restraining himself. But Tommy can't see through the tears to tell. But you're causing a problem right now. Go to your room. What? You can't tell me that. I'm 15 and I'm 25. I said go. Tommy glares at the ground, angrily trying not to cry. Beneath his feet, a fissure in the tile shoots off in 4 different directions. He hasn't finished watering the plants. Fine, he mutters. He stalks to the sink and drops his cup into it with a plastic clatter before spinning on his heel. He's 90% sure some of the water inside splashed Will, but he doesn't care. He marches through the living room, ignoring his school backpack laying sprawled out on the carpet, and enters his bedroom. As soon as he's inside, he slams the door with as much force as he can muster, vibrating the walls. The floor. He hopes it shakes their whole unit, their whole apartment complex. Wilbur doesn't get it. doesn't know what those kids said about both of them, doesn't know how they called Tommy poor and a street rat, and told him Wilbur shouldn't have taken him in because he'd only been 18 at the time and a high school dropout, and there's probably something wrong with his head. After all, there'd been something wrong with their parents' heads. There must have been, for them to have... Oh my... What? Sorry, you're like getting reactions from me too, because I've never read this? What? His parents are villains? They just dropped the ball on me, cat. Come on. Oh my goodness. There must have been, for them to have become villains. And if something was wrong with Wilbur, maybe something was wrong with Tommy too. Maybe it was growing inside him, festering, poison ivy under his skin, just waiting to break loose. Tommy knew the people who said those things were wrong. That's why he punched the kid who called his brother a villain. But Wilbur would never understand that. Wilbur wanted him to be perfect, to behave, to not be such a problem. Tommy grits his teeth against tears until he can't anymore, and they spill over. If Wilbur just listened to him, he'd know Tommy was trying. He'd know Tommy tried to tell his teachers, but they told him to talk it out with the other kids first. He'd know he brought it up with the principal, but she laughed him off, refused to take him seriously. Finally, Tommy tried telling Wilbur, but his brother had been so tired that night. They'd been watching a movie side by side on the couch, and when Tommy looked up after quietly admitting everything that'd been going on for the past 6 months, Wilbur was asleep. He hadn't heard any of it. Tommy's right hand balls into a fist, and he's about to swing it down into the sheets beside him when something prickles in his palm. It's an odd sensation. Tommy's not sure exactly how to describe it, only that it hurts for a split second before fading into a tiny pressure. Pressure so slight he's not even sure it's real. Slowly, he uncurls his fingers. There is a bright, sunshine-colored marigold growing straight out of his palm. Dun dun dun! Boy's got his powers. He got his quirk. Oh my gosh. Any of My Hero Academia fans in chat? Because that's what just happened. Alright. This is getting good. I love superhero AUs. Any superhero enjoyers? He got his quirk. That's what I'm saying, bro. That's what I'm saying. Oh, you can see my little mouse. Ooh. Do, 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 do. Ba-dum, ba-dum. Alright, here we go. Wilbur Soot is having a rotten day. It started at 3 a.m. when the Heroes League buzzed his communicator to inform him of a robbery happening downtown. Excuse me. In the dark, he'd stumbled out of bed and thrown on his uniform, the shirt, the trench coat, the bulky boots. Filza! Oh my gosh, I just got so excited. I love Filza. In the dark, he'd stumble out of bed and thrown on his uniform, the shirt, the trench coat, the bulky boots Phil insists he wears. He tripped over his own feet on the way to his bedroom window and had to spend another minute retying his shoelaces and tucking them in before hoisting up the glass. Tommy's home, his mind reminded him, freezing him right as he set one foot out on the overhang. What about Tommy? But it was 3 a.m., and Tommy was fast asleep in the room next door. He'd be fine. It's not like Wilbur hasn't done this before. Hundreds of times. He's been in the Heroes League nearly 7 years now, and Tommy knows nothing of it. Love you, Toms. I'll be back, he whispers into the empty silence of his bedroom. Then he pulls his mask down and hurries toward downtown. Crime boys. Ah, I miss them. Which reminds me, I gotta finish watching all the Sorry Boys episodes. I don't know if you're still in the chat, Molly, but I have been watching them. I did my homework. I told you I would. I'm true to my promises. Whoa, Shazam. Turns out the robbery was a little more than a simple civilian crime. When Wilbur arrives at the bank, whoa, the blank? The bank. When Wilbur arrives at the bank, two villains are there, Chatterbox and Nemesis. It takes him, Crow, and Blood God 4 hours to take them down. Hours. Hours that Wilbur spends anxiously checking the digital watch ingrained in his coat's right sleeve, because he knows Tommy wakes up at 6:30 for school every day. Wilbur's supposed to drive him. 6 o'clock ticks past. 6:30. It's nearly 7 when Wilbur finally makes it back to his apartment, pushing open the bedroom window and toppling onto the floor. "Tommy," he calls, frantically stripping out of his suit's top, the coat, the godforsaken leggings. "Tommy, are you still home? I'm sorry, I woke up late, but I'm getting dressed now. I can still take you, I can..." Wilbur emerges from his bedroom, one clothing change later, to a completely silent apartment. The clock over the TV is ticking, and there's a steady drip of water coming from the kitchen faucet. But besides that, Tommy is gone. Wilbur knows nothing before he even sees the note stuck to the front door. "Wilbur, I'm walking to school. You weren't awake yet and seemed exhausted last night. It's no big deal. Thanks for offering anyway. First period starts at 7 and I didn't want to be late. Love you, Toms." Wilbur's heart sinks. He'd been looking forward to driving Tommy. Between his job at the diner and his job with the Heroes League, his time is stretched precariously thin, so he'd been excited to finally spend some with his little brother. He wanted to talk to him about the diner, about Sam and Quackity, his two friends there, and the pair of customers he had yesterday who ordered the entire menu on a dare. He wanted to talk about the sunset he saw yesterday night and the baby ducks he found living right outside the parking garage next door. He wanted to talk to Tommy about anything, everything, because he's his little brother, and he feels like he hasn't spent much time with him recently. He misses him, and he let him down. I'm getting emotional. I don't know about you guys, but I'm getting a little emo over here. Wilbur carefully unsticks the note from the front door. He runs his fingers over the sloppy handwriting before putting it in his pocket. "Sorry," he whispers. That is the beginning of his very bad day. The next unfortunate event occurs when he walks into his shift at the diner only to find Sam has called out sick and Quackity needs someone to replace him. "You wouldn't mind staying a little later, would you?" Q asks, wiping down a table right beside Wilbur's. "I'd ask Puffy, but she's been so stressed about moving into her new house. I don't want to add to her plate." Wilbur wanted to say no. After Tommy's note that morning, he'd planned to make it up to him by picking him up after school and driving him home. He'd apologize in the car for sleeping in, and they could talk about anything and everything. But he still has bills to pay, and even with his job at the Heroes League, he's barely scraping by each month. If he stays a little longer, he'd have enough to easily cover rent and food, plus some leftover. He could buy Tommy that new video game he mentioned at dinner weeks ago. The one with all the blocks. Oh my gosh, Wilbur's gonna buy him Minecraft! Shut up! He could buy him new sneakers, something he desperately needs. So, Wilbur shrugs. "Sure, that's fine. Just let me know when I'm off." Quackity beams, grateful. And Wilbur knows he's made the right choice. He gets coffee spilled on him during his shift, twice. Then he drops a tray full of condiments during Sam's and spends 20 minutes cleaning it off the kitchen walls. By the time he's down to 2 hours of work left, he smells like coffee grinds and ranch. Then, right as he's taking the order of a lady who will not stop asking him how he knows the vegan options are really vegan, his cell phone rings. "Is that your phone?" the lady asks, eyebrows pinching. "Don't you know it's bad etiquette to keep your phone on during shifts? Highly unprofessional. In fact, my son always leaves his phone in a locker at his job," and Wilbur tunes the rest of it out. Wilbur tunes out the rest of it. Not the Karen, ew, get her out of here. Oh my gosh. There are only 3 people he knows who can bypass his phone's Do Not Disturb feature. Tommy, because of course. Crow, because if an emergency occurs, Wilbur wants to be able to help, and Tommy's school. Out of the 3, Wilbur wishes it was none of them. "Excuse me," he says, interrupting the lady who is still rambling about her son. "I have to take this. I'll be right back with your drink." Heart pounding, he spins around and hurries back to the kitchen. As soon as he's tucked safely away in the break room, he yanks out his phone. Ridgewood High stares back at him in bright white letters, and Wilbur swallows back his paranoia as he swipes right and answers. What if Tommy got hurt? He's in chemistry this year, isn't he? What if some chemicals exploded or spilled on him? What if there's an active shooter and they're calling to tell him something happened, something bad? What if he's sick? Or his appendix is rupturing? Or he has a secret allergy neither of them knew about and now he's going to anaphylactic shock on the hallway floor? What if... Hello? Is this Wilbur Soot? Compared to Wilbur's spiking heart rate, the male voice on the telephone sounds much too calm. Yes, what's wrong? What happened? A sigh from the other end of the call. Your little brother's in the principal's office, Mr. Soot. Is he okay? Tommy's fine. The principal would like to speak with you, though, before we send him home. The principal? Wilbur can't leave. He promised Quackity he'd take Sam's shift. He sinks to the floor, crossing his legs under him. I'm really sorry, but I'm kind of stuck at the moment. Is there any way I can come speak with the principal after I get off work instead? There's a moment where the speaker doesn't respond and Wilbur holds his breath. Then the voice returns. Fine. What should we do with Tommy? Send him back to class? Let him go? I'll be there in about an hour. I just need to talk to my boss. I don't think you understand, Mr. Soot. I can't send your brother back to class. He's suspended. Suspended? Again? Wilbur tries to reel back his shock, shoving it into a box that just barely resembles politeness. I'm sorry. Suspended? Yes, it means he can't... I know what it means, Wilbur interrupts, struggling to keep that box shut. I'm just wondering why. Well, I'm not exactly sure. You'll have to speak to Principal Devon for that. Wilbur exhales a harsh breath through his lips and runs a hand through his bangs. This is, what, the 5th time Tommy's been suspended this school year? At some point, this has to stop. Okay, he breathes. I'll come as soon as I can. You can send Tommy home. He walks to school. All right, thanks, Mr. Soot. He doesn't know why they're thanking him. Regardless, he says something polite in return, then hangs up. Shit. There goes his plan of stopping at the store. Wilbur? It's Quackity. He pokes his head in through the break room door, and when his eyes land on Wilbur sitting on the floor, they fill with concern. Something wrong? Wilbur sighs. Yes, Tommy. He's in trouble at school, and they suspended him. Again? Wilbur huffs a dry laugh, pushing to his feet. Yes, again. Is there any way I can get off a little early so I can go talk to the principal? I guess you can leave early. I hope you know I can't pay you for work you aren't here for, though. I know. That's fine. My rent's still a few weeks away. He stops in front of Quackity, and his boss sighs. I'm sorry, Wilbur, he says. You know I'd help more if I could. I know. Could you help me with that lady over there, then? I have a feeling she's pissed with me. Quackity's pinched brow smooths over, a grin slowly taking its place. Oh yeah. Karen's I can absolutely handle. Wilbur wishes that was the last terrible thing. But then, on the way to Tommy's school, it starts downpouring. He has no umbrella in the car, so he flips the hood of his jacket up and books it to the front doors. Unfortunately, his shoelaces come untied halfway there, just like this morning, and he goes sprawling onto the concrete a mere 5 feet from the entrance. When he stands up, his entire front is soaked. Not the concrete. Is that a Lovejoy reference? Oh my gosh! Lovejoy! Concrete by Lovejoy! I'm hilarious. Guys. Oh, boy's he's having such a rough day. No, Wilbur. Alright. Mr. Soot. Principal Devon greets when he walks into her... Oh, it's a her. My bad. Mr. Soot. Principal Devon greets when he walks into her office. She looks up and does a double take. I suppose it's raining out there then. Miserable, dripping wet, and cold as fuck, Wilbur nods. Suppose so. Their meeting is short and relatively brief, but it's the last straw. When When Wilbur drives home, he's furious. And then he yells at Tommy. makes Tommy cry. As soon as he hears the first sob through the apartment's thin walls, he sinks down on the couch and presses the heels of his palms into his eyes until he sees stars. It was never supposed to be like this. When he took Tommy in 7 years ago, he thought he was doing what was best for his little brother. He was bringing him home, giving him a family. But Tommy needs attention. More than that, he deserves attention. Attention Will can never give him because he's constantly busy working at the diner or with the heroes, constantly fretting about the next bill or doctor's appointment or home repair. Tommy needs love, needs time, needs someone who can patiently explain why it's so wrong to punch someone instead of screaming at him. And Wilbur, overworked, overtired, overstressed Wilbur, can't give that to him. Not without quitting a job and making them homeless. And Tommy doesn't deserve that either. Carefully, Wilbur turns his palm over and wills it to ignite. It's just a tiny flame, like a candle, but the sight of it instantly calms him. His powers have always had that effect on him. Soothing. It's a comforting warmth that seeps through his palms and around his wrists, like a hand taking his. For a minute, he watches the flame flicker, then closes his finger around it, sealing it off. This is just another thing Tommy doesn't deserve. Wilbur lies. When he has to leave late at night to stop a robbery and claim it's a last-minute diner shift. When he's gone half the day fighting a villain only to return and tell Tommy he got caught in traffic. The worst was the time Tommy caught sight of the bruises lining Wilbur's ribs after a particularly brutal fight. Tommy was only 9 at the time, and the sight of the purple and brown splotches up and down Will's side made his eyes bubble with tears. He spent the next hour wiping Wilbur's wounds with a cold cloth in the bathroom, kissing each one like Wilbur always kissed his skinned knees, as if love alone could heal them. Wilbur told him he fell on the stairs. Tommy, sweet, innocent 9-year-old Tommy, believed him. Will never stopped feeling guilty about that one. But he can't tell him, because the fact that it's against company policy, it put Tommy in danger, especially if something bad ever happened. If something happened to Will, he knows Tommy, or if something happened to Wilbur, he knows Tommy would be the first person to try and find him, even if he was in the clutches of the worst villain imaginable. Wilbur can't let that happen. He needs his brother safe. Bzz. Wilbur takes a breath to compose himself before pulling out his comm. Even so, he's pretty sure his voice wavers when he answers. Yes. Flame. Crow. Oh, it's Filza! It's Filza, my brother! Oh my gosh! I really like Filza, guys. His voice is so fun to do. It's so goofy and silly to try and imitate. Hermit, Humphrey, Filza, frick with me, I'll freaking kill ya. I'm the best streamer. Anyways, guys, subscribe to Filza Minecraft. He's the bravest man I've ever met, and I shook his hand at TwitchCon. Oh my gosh. Don't believe me? Check out my Instagram. Anyways. I'll start the dialogue over. Yes? Flame. Crow. Wilbur sits straighter. Flame, there's another fight downtown. I could use a little backup. Are you available? Now? Crow chuckles, but it sounds strained. I mean, yeah. As soon as you can. Hey, are you okay? Wilbur clears his throat. Yeah, sorry, I'll just... He glances toward Tommy's bedroom door. The muffled crying on the other side has gone suspiciously silent. He must have fallen asleep. I wouldn't be calling if we didn't really need you. If you can get away, please try. I have to go now. Okay, I'll be there as soon as I can. Thanks, Flame. The call cuts off before Will can ask anything else. Oh, allow. Didn't we all know freak house all day and also all night and my bitches, I mean my wife. I don't mean that because she's the light of my life. Yes! So good. Oh my goodness. The call cuts off before Will can ask anything else, and the apartment falls silent once more. He glances one last time at Tommy's door, waiting for a shuffle, a sniffle, a cough, anything. When nothing comes, he stands and goes to get dressed. Oh my gosh, guys. I'm so sad. I'm so sad for my boys. I love them. And they are sad. They are sad little boys. Crime boys. Oh. Sorry, I gotta do the number thing. 167. Doop. Do ba-do 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 boop boop. Alright. Let's keep reading. I think we're almost getting done with this chapter. Look at the little scrolly thing. Look at it. Ha ha ha. Alright. Tommy squeezes his eyes closed, opens them, pinches himself. No matter what he does, the marigold is still there, rooted stubbornly in his palm. Admittedly, the first explanation he comes up with is not, "I have superpowers." Rather, he raises his palm to his eyes, squints at the base of the stalk, and tries to find the seed that must have somehow wormed its way under his skin like a splinter. He's pretty sure plants aren't supposed to be able to grow inside the human body, but maybe they are. Maybe he missed that lecture in biology class freshman year. Maybe he'd been suspended. After a full minute of scrutinizing his own palm, he can't find a seed. But marigold seeds are thin. It's probably just too far down for him to see. Weird, he thinks. Then he plucks the flower out and tosses it over the side of his bed. It doesn't hurt. He curls up on his side again, tucking his chin to his chest and knees to his stomach. The apartment beyond his bedroom door is still and silent. We're getting to that part of the stream where I can't read whatsoever, but I keep doing it. I keep doing it for y'all. The apartment beyond his bedroom door is still and silent. He hasn't heard Wilbur in ages. If he closes his eyes, he can almost imagine their fight didn't happen at all, and that they're both just winding down for the evening. Wilbur changing out of his work clothes and himself settling into work on Miss Puffy's essay assignment. This week, she'd asked them to write about their personal hero. We all know the Heroes League heroes like Crow, Blood God, and Flame, Puffy said, bracing herself against the desk as she surveyed her class. But this week I want you all to dig deeper. Go beyond the surface level of hero. What does that word mean to you on a personal level? Who is that to you? Tommy knew his answer immediately. Wilbur, obviously. It was always going to be Wilbur. He left class with the first sentence already written in his head. 7 years ago, before the Heroes League even existed, my brother Wilbur became my hero. Then some prick pinned him at his locker, told him growing up with Wilbur made him wrong. Tommy punched him without even realizing his fist had raised. He got sent home half an hour later, after an intense and entirely one-sided discussion with his principal. Turns out, the boy who said all those things... Oh! What? Her son? Shut up! That's so mean. That's what we call privileged white boy right there. Turns out the boy who said all those things to him was her son. Tisk, tisk, tisk. I shake my head at you, sir. You are bully. That's a bully right there. Unstan. Honestly, get off the platform. Oh man. So now here he is, curled in the fetal position with drying tear tracks as Wilbur, his hero, sits outside and, well, Tommy doesn't really know what Will's doing. He might be crying too, to be honest. He's always been a bit of an emotional arguer. The last time he fought Tommy's caseworker over the phone while trying to adopt him, he teared up twice and had to take a 5-minute breather to recompose himself. Who's talking to me? Who loves me? Ah, it's Danny. Oh my gosh. Bro. Hold on. Chat, hold on a sec. Bro, how am I supposed to function? How am I supposed to function on stream after looking at that? I can't. I just can't. she's gonna think that's hilarious. All I can say, the bully's mom talking bad about Tommy and her son. Oh my goodness. Ugh. Talks bad about Tommy. Literally, her son is the bully. That makes her a bully too. She bullied Wilbur. I'm calling it. Oh my goodness. Anyways. Where do we leave off? Oh yes, recompose himself. Okay. Quietly, Tommy slips off the side of his bed and pads to the door. He can't hear anything on the other side, but that doesn't necessarily mean Wilbur's not there. His brother moves around like a ninja sometimes, he swears. Wilbur? He calls through the door. Will? Could I come out for a sec? No response. As if he's scared too much pressure will fling the door open. He lays 2 fingers on the very edge of the handle. Wilbur, I'm sorry, okay? I'm sorry I keep getting suspended. I'm sorry for yanking you out of work every time. And I'm sorry you have to deal with me when I'm not even your kid. Ow. Ow. Oh, why did that hurt me so bad? Anyways, Tommy's throat squeezes, and the last few words come out choked before it's even though it's true. Tommy's not Wilbur's kid. He's his brother, sure, their blood is the same, but Wilbur never asked for him. Wilbur was just the one forced to step up when their parents decided they'd rather tear the city to shreds than focus on their own children. Tommy was never meant to be his problem. Barely holding back tears, Tommy wraps the rest of his fingers around the door handle. Look, I'm coming out now. I'm sorry for everything, Will. I really am. I love you. He pushes down the handle, steps out into the living room. Silence greets him. There's no one on the couch, no one in the kitchen. When Tommy wanders over, his overturned plastic cup is still dripping water into the sink. There's an indentation on the couch where There's an indentation on the couch where Wilbur must have been sitting, but when Tommy sits down in his place, it's long since gone cold. Wilbur? He says, and holds his breath and waits. Nothing. The apartment air conditioner creaks. Wilbur called maintenance about it 10 times before giving up. But besides that, it's so quiet Tommy can hear his ears ring. Wilbur left, he realizes, and his ribcage contracts. Wilbur left because he doesn't want to deal with me. He's gone. He left me. Pressure builds at his sternum, pressing in, stabbing. It's suddenly extremely hard to breathe. Tommy hiccups, raising his shaky hands up to tug at his hair, and that's when it happens. A long, thin vine shoots out of Tommy's left palm. It wraps around a glass cup on the living room's old thrifted coffee table and squeezes until it shatters, glass raining all over the floor. Tommy screams, yanking his hand back and scrambling off the side of the couch. But the vine follows him. It slams into the wall before wrapping around a lamp, and Tommy has approximately 1 second to shriek before the lamp topples off the side table. It hits the floor with a heavy crash. No! Tommy screams, throwing out his right hand, but that provides itself a mistake as another vine bursts from it. It shoots across the room, latching onto the window handle and coiling around it like a tether. Meanwhile, the left vine's wrapped itself around the sink faucet, and Tommy can hear the pipe strain as the vine tugs against it, the plant trying to pull back, curl up, retreat to Tommy's palms. If it's not careful, the whole sink is going to come with it. Stop! Tommy pleads, terrified. His voice heaves in and out, vision tunneling as he stares at the 2 vines tethering him in either direction. Stop, please! For a second, he thinks he's won. The intense pull on both his arms stops, each vine slackening just enough to let him catch his breath. Slowly, the left vine releases the sink, slinking back toward Tommy like a disobedient dog that's been told off. Tommy tears his tunnel vision away from it, looking back to his own palms. From the middle, leaves and flowers are sprouting. The vines are thickest there, stemming from the very center where his skin is softest. Twining with them are marigolds, petunias, morning glories, and tiny forget-me-nots. As he watches, they snake along the vines, blooming in thin trails until they reach the very tips. "What the fuck is happening?" he whispers. Then, quicker than Tommy can react, the left vine darts across the room to where the right one's holding the window handle. Together, they push down. The window flies open, and Tommy's palms yank him toward it. The vines slink out the window, grabbing onto the fire escape railing and using it as an anchor to drag Tommy closer. "Stop!" he screams, the tug uncomfortably tight on his palms. He stumbles to the window, hoists himself out, and steps onto the fire escape just to relieve it. But the vines aren't stopping. They keep pulling, roots tugging his palms until he's there, pressed up against the fire escape railing and staring down at the city below. He and Wilbur live on the 6th floor. Their apartment is smack dab in the middle of the city, which you'd think would make a monthly rent cost a fortune, but considering supervillains raid the city every other day, the real estate's value gone down a whole bunch. Thanks, Mom and Dad. The city sprawls in front of him, as dense and expansive as moss growing off the side of the house. Tommy's ivy tightens, digging his ribs uncomfortably into the railing as it urges him forward. Go, its pressure says. Take the jump. Tommy doesn't want to. Tommy, staring at a 6-story drop to pasty white concrete below, thinks he might throw up, pass out. In the best case scenario, he might wake up and find out that this was all some horrible nightmare, and he's not actually sprouting vines from his hands. He doesn't want to actually have a superpower. Tommy thinks with startling clarity for the very first time. I have a superpower. I can't have a superpower. He can't have a power because his parents had powers, and look what happened to them. What would happen if the police or the Hero League found out, knowing Tommy's biological history? What would happen if the kids at school knew? Would they call this the evil that had been festering under his skin? Would they use it against him? Against Wilbur? What would happen if Wilbur found out? Tommy's stomach churns. If Wilbur found out, he would see him like he must have seen their parents all those years ago? If Wilbur found out, would he see him like he must have seen their parents all those years ago? Wilbur was 12 when their parents died to the heroes and their identities were revealed, and although Tommy has no clue how that moment felt, he thinks he can guess. Betrayal, hot and angry, must have sunk into Wilbur's chest. This was what their parents had been doing This was what their parents had been doing the whole time. This was where they went. This is why they left Wilbur at 12 years old to take care of a baby. Wilbur would hate him. Wilbur, if he ever realizes, would toss him out, throw him away. He wouldn't love him anymore. If he still even does, Tommy's subconscious whispers. Something shifts against his fingers, and Tommy looks down to see a tiny morning glory slinking across his hand. It stops when he faces it, as if it can sense him watching, and turns its face up. Vivid blue petals part to expose a bright sunburst of yellow inside, and Tommy, for as much as his new superpower scares him, finds himself reaching down with his other hand to brush it. The flower opens up at his touch, petals lengthening and leaves unfurling. It's stunning, and the feeling that encompasses him as he does it feels like the first time he remembers Wilbur holding him. Shut up! Shut up! I hate this. No, I love it. It's so good. It's his earliest memory. Wilbur cradling him in his arms, staring down at him with warm brown eyes and swaying side to side. Tommy doesn't remember where they'd been. At the early foster house that took both of them. Maybe? A group home? Ultimately, it didn't matter, because all Tommy remembers is the intense feeling of safety he felt in his brother's arms. Manny, I know what you're referencing. Don't even say it. Don't even say it. Don't do it. Don't. Ah. This feels like that. Warm, loving. Someone cradling his hand and pressing a kiss to his open palm. Tommy opens his hand fully, allowing the vines to soften, relax. Then he pushes them to grow. Miraculously, they listen to him. Flowers sprout along the vines, thin tendrils snaking out and curling gently up his arms. It feels like a hug. The first one Tommy's gotten in a long, long time. Somewhere back in the apartment, the doorbell rings. Shit, Tommy thinks. The vines instinctively tighten around him, but this time he doesn't bother freaking out. Instead, he puts one foot out onto the balcony railing and wraps a vine securely around the railing. Lower me down, he whispers to himself, or the vines, or whatever his power uses to listen to him. Lower me down to the ground, safely, please. Before the doorbell can ring again, Tommy is gone. Oh my gosh! What the heck? This is so good! I'm actually crying! Screaming, crying. Oh my gosh. So much. Amazing chart. I can't wait to read more. Okay. Oh my gosh, shut up, Grammarly. I don't care about grammar right now. Oh. What do you mean my bedtime is... No, don't share my data. Leave me alone. Okay. There we go. It presented himself. I just went with it. I know you did. I know you did. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I'm screaming. This is insane. Should we keep going? I kind of want to keep going, guys. Should we keep going, or do we want to hit up something else? I know Son of the Sea has been updated recently by Sir Cantus, which is a pirate fic, and we all know how I feel about pirates. I love them. Can I turn the nightlight off of this thing so I can actually see? Ave Maria. So whatever. We should keep going? Okay, cool. Well, it's... Oh, good. This fic is fire. Ah, the Son of the Sea gives me pride to Caribbean. Yes! As it should. As it should. Maybe we'll hit that up later. Maybe we'll do Wilbur Wednesday. Wait, what's today? Sunday. Well, I don't know. We'll see. We might do it next week. It's been a hot minute. Oh!
Could it be? My time with work and my weekend also happens the same time as a Julie stream.
Yes. Yes! Nova! Thank you so much for the resub scribble. Oh my gosh, 27 months, currently on a 25-month streak. Holy cow! Could be when you're working your... I missed my 2-year anniversary. Oh my goodness. Whenever you do, continue reading Soggy Baguette or Fuzzy with your British impressions. As you should. Yeah, we'll keep going. 2 chapters are out. It got updated today. We might as well. We might as well continue. But Nova, I'm so happy you're here, darling. I hope you're having a wonderful weekend. Welcome, welcome in. But yes, your time with work. Chillax. Hit me with a lurk if you got to. We're reading a superhero fanfic right now. Let me hit you with the link if you want to pull it up and read it for yourself, because we are reading chapter 2 now. Basically, Wilbur is taking care of Tommy. They are blood brothers in this fic. Their parents were villains and are now dead. So yeah, Wilbur is secretly working with the Heroes League. Tommy just got his freaking plant powers. Wilbur has flame powers. Tommy just got suspended from school for hitting a kid because the kids were talking bad about Wilbur and his family. Like, oh, you're so messed up because you're villain parents. Rah! So yeah. They're trying not to be homeless, so Wilbur's gotta work extra jobs. Also zoom in. It's Nezuko. Nezuko-chan! She is attached to my microphone. Alright, here we go. Chapter 2. He stretches his arms out, relaxes his legs, braces his mind for the quick disappearance he's about to try and make, and then something slams into him. No, not something. Someone. Flame and Tommy meet for the first time. Content warnings? None. Let's go. Wilbur grunts as his back slams into the alleyway's brick wall. Ouch, Jester laughs, quick lips quirking up in one corner. That one's gonna hurt tomorrow. Oh, shut up, Wilbur replies, pushing off the wall just in time to dodge Jester's next punch. He ducks under Jester's arm and swivels just in time to catch the next swing coming for him. His palm ignites, and Jester yelps as hot fire makes contact with the shoulder of his neon blue and red supersuit. Wilbur's never understood this particular villain's draw to flashy costumes. Just makes him easier to spot, running through crowds or along buildings like a college student's highlighter runs through a textbook. Doesn't even look cool. Your 3D goggles look stupid, FYI, Wilbur says as Jester backs off, shaking out his arm. Even with the protection Wilbur's certain the villain's suit has, it's not invincible, and Wilbur's got 500 degrees worth of adrenaline built up under his palms. Like, what's with the red and blue theme? How's that relate to your powers? Or your name? It's just my brand! Oh, and what, like flame is any better? At least mine actually makes sense. Jester rushes forward, a bright white beam shooting from his palm. Wilbur sidesteps, but it's too late. The beam slams into his cheek and his vision swirls. Fuck. There's one thing he really can't stand about Jester, besides his ridiculous name and branding, it's his power. Getting hit with his blast is like, well, Wilbur's never done drugs before, but he assumes it's sort of like that. The whole world spins, colors brightening into neon and bleeding together like watercolor paint. He stumbles over his feet, struggling to keep track of where the ground is in front of him. A fic where the bad guys are labeled as bad guys makes it much less confusing. Real. Ugh. He stumbles over his own feet, struggling to keep track of where the ground is in front of him. Not laughing now, are you? Jester says, voice coming somewhere to Wilbur's right. Taking a guess at where Jester is, Wilbur shoves a fireball his way. He must have missed, though, because Jester just cackles. Get ready to take the biggest trip of your life, he says, and Wilbur feels the air to his left crackle with building energy. Not yet, he breathes. Right as the energy reaches its peak, he drops down and swipes his left leg out. The whole world blurs as he pivots, spinning so his leg collides with Jester's ankle. Jester shrieks, and Wilbur hears the satisfying smack of the villain hitting concrete as he dizzily staggers back to his feet. And stay down, Wilbur slurs, pointing at the blurry red and blue smear in front of him. Flame! Sorry, I had to read ahead to make sure who was saying it. It's Phil, by the way. Oh my gosh. Wilbur turns, clumsily tripping over his feet until a warm arm... Sorry, getting ahead of myself. Wilbur turns, clumsily tripping over his feet until a familiar arm wraps around his torso and lifts. Suddenly, the ground isn't just spinning beneath him, it's dropped away entirely as Crow swoops higher, Wilbur tight in his grip. Ugh, Crow, I feel sick, Wilbur complains, squeezing his eyes shut against the weightlessness sensation of flying. Crow snorts. No shit. Did I at least knock him out? Probably not. But I think he's about to head out anyway. All the others are leaving. Did we capture anyone? Was Blood gone? Wilbur feels the subtle drop in his stomach as Crow flies lower, no doubt heading for a rooftop. Haven't seen him, but he calmed me a minute ago, saying he was alright. I'm gonna go meet up with him. Take me with you? Crow laughs. Prep to land first. Wilbur braces, and 2 seconds later he feels rough drown? Sorry. He feels rough ground under his feet as Crow sets him down. He opens his eyes, blinking past swirling colors to see he's been placed on a rooftop about 7 stories off the ground and in the middle of the city. Actually, he's probably pretty close to his apartment. If Tommy looked out the living room window, he might be able to see them. Of course, he told Tommy to go to his room earlier, so maybe not. He swallows the guilt in his throat back down. Later. He can deal with what he said to Tommy later. Right now, he has a job to do. Take me with, he says again. A demand this time, rather than a plea. He turns, trying to find Crow's face, but the world spins again and he winds up dropping to sit instead. Nah, mate, Crow chuckles. Catch your breath first. Jester's power doesn't last long. But, no buts. I'll be right back, alright? We'll calm you if we need you. Or, we'll calm you if we need help. Wilbur sighs, slouching into the rough concrete. Fine. You better mean that, though. I'll be fine in a minute. I can help. It's okay, bestie. Words are hard sometimes. Sometimes if you go with the mess-ups... sometimes if you go with the mess-ups to make it funnier. Ah, yes. Oh my goodness. It wouldn't make sense at all, but it would be funny. Fine. You better mean that, though. I'll be fine in a minute. I can help. I know. We'll be back. With that, a gust of wind brushes Wilbur's cheek. The same cheek Jester shot, and Crow disappears off the side of the building. Wilbur exhales roughly, pressing his palms flat against the warm rooftop floor, and uses it to ground himself. Everything is still swirly and colorful, but it's getting better. If he focuses hard on one spot, his vision recenters, and he can stave off the nausea building in his stomach. He sits there for a bit, listening to what Crow said, and catches his breath. After the fifth slow exhale, his vision has mostly returned to normal. A lingering light outside, a lingering light outlines every object he looks at, but besides that, he's fine. He should have known it wouldn't last. A thump sounds behind him, and when Wilbur turns, he comes face to face with Jester again. Christ, man, Wilbur mutters, getting to his feet and brushing the dirt off his leggings. Do you ever give up? Aren't your pals leaving? Yes, Jester spits, but I don't care. We need information and I'm going to be the one that gets it. Wilbur actually almost laughs. Sure you are, but I'm going to develop ice power. Oh wait. Sure you are, and I'm going to develop ice powers. Oh my gosh, she's gonna be like Todoroki from the hit anime My Hero Academia. Oh my gosh. Jester bristles, raising his palms. But before he can shoot, Wilbur lunges for his knees. Go for the knees! Yes! Oh my gosh. It's a wrestling match, really. Indecorous, bloody and unpredictable. Indecorous. That's a new word. Improper, immodest, or indecent. An indecent, bloody, and unpredictable fight. Oh my god. Wilbur knocks Jester to his back and manages to get a good punch in first, smacking Jester in the jaw. Jester retaliates with a low blow to the stomach. All the breath leaves Wilbur in a whoosh, but he uses the anger and adrenaline built by it to roll them sideways and swing for Jester's nose. Jester screams, then rolls over and pops to his feet. Wilbur follows. Dickhead! Jester screams, clutching his broken and bloody nose. I'm going to unmask you, and then we're going to rain hell on you and your family, and your cows. Cows? Wilbur laughs, ducking under a blast from Jester and shooting back one of its own. It misses Jester's ear by half a centimeter. I don't know. Don't you have any pets? Not a fucking cow. Wilbur swings again, but Jester's ready this time. He grabs Wilbur's arm, stopping it from hitting him, and twists. Instinctively, Wilbur pivots to keep his arm from dislocating, but now he's got his back to Jester and his front to the edge of the roof. Shit. Since when did they get so close to the edge? He ignites both his palms, and he's not close enough to touch Jester with any of them. Slowly, he feels Jester's power start to seep back into his veins. His vision blurs, colors start to swirl. No, again. Wilbur grunts, and with all the energy left, he jumps up and kicks Jester's chest back with his feet. It works. Jester's fingers detached from around his arm. The villain stumbles back, and Wilbur launches forward, right off the side of the roof. Luckily, he's done this before. Mid-air, he pivots, sets his sights on an alcove, and extends his arm toward it. He doesn't have any of those sticky plant-growing powers like Jester's buddy Nemesis does, but his suit is equipped with material built for absorbing impact forces. If he can just grab the ledge, swing himself in, and stick the landing, he'll be fine. He stretches his arms out, relaxes his legs, braces his mind for the quick disappearance he's about to try and make, and then something slams into him. No, not something. Someone. Wilbur screams, and the person screams too, but they don't stop moving, momentum carrying them forward. They swing over the top of the next building, then drop lower, 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 to the point Wilbur thinks they're about to become twin pancakes on the top of someone's car before abruptly slinging back up. Holy fuck! The person holding him screams, grip fumbling around Wilbur's waist. Something thin and weird smelling is wrapped around Wilbur's torso, but he can't get a good enough look to figure out what it is, especially while his vision is still sorta swirly from Jester's power. Maybe it's a rope? It smells sort of like garden dirt. Sorry, I'm learning. Just... The swing dips again, and both the new person and Wilbur scream, just hang on! Wilbur hangs on all right. He digs his fingers into the person's arm until his fingers turn white and screeches when they slingshot up onto a rooftop. The roof is slanted, so the moment they hit shingles, they're both slipping, sliding, tumbling downward. Wilbur screams, desperately grappling for purchase on the tiles. Any of the tiles. But he can't get a grip. His gloves aren't catching. His body keeps sliding. His vision is fucked and he's going to die. He's going to die and Tommy's never going to know what happened because he never told him that he's a hero. He never... Gotcha! Something closes around Wilbur's wrist. His wrist, guys. Ooh, whoa, his wrist. Oh, no! Something closes around Wilbur's wrist and everything stops. When he gets the courage to open his eyes again, he's about 2 inches from the edge of the roof. His hand, outstretched in terror, is caught in a vine. Or it's not caught, really. It's being held. Thin, leafy tendrils wrap around his wrist and lace with his fingers. Flowers, bright pink petunias, bursting morning glories, and sunshine-colored marigolds spring out from amongst the threads. It's like a garland, and attached to it, when Wilbur raises his gaze just a bit further, is a person. His widower West. His widower West, guys. Oh my gosh. They're tall and thin, lanky limbs splayed out across the roof, one hand shooting vines down to Wilbur, while the other's vines tangle with the peak of the rooftop. Curly blonde hair catches the sunlight and glows, and behind the person's absolute travesty of a mask, seriously, that quality makes it look like they got it at a comic book store, dark eyes glitter. Oh, okay. Wilbur isn't close enough to see what color they are, but he can tell they're open wide, surprised, or shocked maybe, that they survived. The mask has a mesh bottom that shields the person's nose and mouth, and their voice sounds nasally and congested when they speak. Are you okay? That's my impression of a nasally Tommy in it. Wilbur sucks in a breath, lets it out. His vision's still fucked, colors blurring and swirling like enough to be disconcerting. But he's not a pancake on the street, so... Yeah, all good. The person above huffs a sigh of relief. Slowly, the tendrils attached to him start to pull up, allowing him to find his own footing on the slanted roof. Sorry about that. I saw you and Jester fighting, and then you were about to fall, and these vines are really fucking hard to control, and whoa, it's all right, Wilbur says, abruptly cutting off the person's ramble. Who are you, though, if you don't mind me asking? I thought it was going to be Crow, Blood God, and I here out today. Oh. The vines slacken around Wilbur's wrist. They retreat up to the person's hand, disappearing into their palm like they were never there in the first place. It'd be weirder to watch if Wilbur wasn't used to seeing his own palms light and extinguish. The person fumbles, finding their own bearing on the roof and using their feet to root themselves back in place. Their second set of vines untether from the rooftop, slowly slinking back and disappearing. My name's Gold. Gold? The person nods. Gold. You know, like the marigold, the flower, but shorter and more big manly. Wilbur squints, cocking his head. Big manly? Gold bobs his head, then shakes it, then bobs again. Wilbur doesn't think he's ever seen so much hesitance in a person, definitely not in a hero, which is what Gold must be, considering he's not trying to kill him. His mask and costume are a little lackluster for the Heroes League, though. He's practically dressed in civilian clothes, a cotton jacket thrown over a shirt and shorts that Wilbur swears he's seen Tommy wear before. Ratty red Converse pressed into the roof, nervously shifting every couple seconds. The mask over his face is bright yellow with red highlights across it. Although, with Wilbur's vision still blurring in and out, he can't be sure the colors he's seeing are actually real. Are you new? Wilbur asks, struggling to focus through the effects of Jester's power. I've never seen you before, and your costume it's supposed to look like civilian's clothes? Is that the point? Gold shifts, and Wilbur ignores the way his vision doubles and sparks. For fuck's sake, he hates Jester's powers. It always makes him nauseous. That'd be funny, but no, it's not really a costume. It's just, I'm just... Spit it out, please, Wilbur groans, before I puke all over you. Gold swallows audibly. Oh, sorry, I'm sorry. It's just, I'm not a hero. The confession falls from his lips in a rush. Before Wilbur can react, though, Gold charges on. I'm not an official hero anyway, but I think I could help you guys out. I got my powers recently and it freaked me the fuck out at first, but then I thought, I could use them for good and make a difference. So I mean, running into you was really all up to chance. I wasn't actually, waiting for you to fall off the roof. Obviously not, but if you wanted, do you think you could you help me, teach me how? Wilbur cuts him off before he can finish digging his own hole. You're not part of the league? Gold shakes his head, blonde curls flying. Not really. I can't help you. Actually, you shouldn't even be out here. Go home. What? I wonder who Gold is, guys. Jeez, I wonder who he is. Drop a comment below if you think you know who he is. I know. Oh, man. Alright, let's keep reading. This is good. We're already more than halfway through the first chapter. Or second chapter. This is great, guys. Tommy's 2 blocks away from the apartment when he sees it. A mask. It's crimson and gold, practically screaming, "Pick me!" from the local comic book store window. It's not like any of the real heroes' masks, but it looks like it could be one. Like it's just waiting for someone worthy of it to walk up and put it on. Oh my gosh, it's just like Spider-Man! Spider-Man, he's coming to Fortnite! Oh my gosh, it's almost as though you're talking in Tommy's voice. Oh my gosh, guys, it's like I'm literally Tommy in it. I'm Tommy in it, guys. Tommy is absolutely not worthy. He can't even get his vines under control. He can't even get his vines, bro. Oh my god, cholesterol. Free Shavakadu. Free Shavak. Imagine, literally, it's like, okay, imagine a fan art of Tommy, with his vines, the flowers, but each flower is a different vine. So, road work ahead. Look, get a load of all those chickens. I want a church girl to go to church and read her Bible. You know? Farisha Vakadu. Oh, it's funny. It's funny. Anywho, I'm gonna keep reading. They keep smacking him in the face, tripping him up as he tries to swing around the town like he saw Peter Parker do in all the Spider-Man movies. I told you he was like Spider-Man! I told you! And he's literally like freaking Deku with his black whip. So and he swings like Spider-Man. It's Spider-Man! It's Spider-Man! He's coming to Fortnite! I have a video of me with Me doing the Spider-Man, you know the one. Hold on. Oh, Danny's messaging me. No, I missed it! No! The new cat ocean fic superheroes and stuff. I gotta look soon because I have to get ready for bed. No worries, dude. You don't gotta. You're good. Go get ready for bed. I appreciate the lurking nonetheless, my guy. Thank you. But the sight of the mask sparks something deep within his chest. And once the idea's there, he can't shake it, no matter how crazy or silly or immature it might sound. What if I became a hero? Insane, really, but wouldn't it be ironic? The longer Tommy thinks about it, the better an idea it sounds. Why not? He wouldn't even have to be a member of the League, necessarily. He could just be like an unofficial intern. A vigilante. Not necessarily working with the heroes, but not working against them either. A member of the general public who just happens to have powers that let him help out. Maybe he could take over their smaller gigs, like muggings or house robberies, or when old people's cats get stuck in trees. He hates cats, but that's besides the point. He could prove the kids at school wrong about him. He could prove to Wilbur he could be good, really good, good enough to be considered a hero, and maybe then if Wilbur ever found out about his powers, he wouldn't kick him out. Maybe he'd even be proud of him. Oh, shut up. Ultimately, that thought is what seals the deal. Tommy leaps off the roof into the connecting alley, trusting his vines to catch him, and goes to buy a mask. When he leaves the store, he only makes it another block before spotting Jester and Flame. They're fighting, tussling back and forth on a rooftop a couple buildings away. For a while, Flame's winning. He gets a good punch in on Jester that makes the villain's nose start bleeding, and Jester tries to retaliate, but Flame ducks out of the way before the shot can land. But then the tide changes. Jester grabs Flame's arm, and Tommy can see the moment his power sinks in. Flame's reaction time slows, and he's not quick enough to fight back when Jester twists his arm and pivots him toward the edge of the roof. "Fight him," Tommy whispers, fists balling, fists balling around the flowers, threatening to burst through his skin. "Come on, Flame, fight back!" But as the seconds tick down, it doesn't look like Flame's going to do much of anything. Jester's power is taking a tighter hold, and Flame's head starts dipping toward his chest, and then, in a move so quick, Tommy almost misses it. Flame leaps up, plants his feet on Jester's chest, and pushes. Jester stumbles back, letting go of Flame's arm, and Flame goes free falling off the side of the building. Tommy's moving, but before his brain consciously processes, "Oh my gosh, this is so Deku coded." I'm messaging Danny about this. Danny, Tommy is so Deku coded in this fic. Tommy's moving before his brain consciously processes what he's doing. Tommy, like Wilbur's like free falling off a building. Tommy's body moves before he can. And he's got like black whip powers, but with vines coming out of his hands, and they have flowers. They have morning glories on them. And we know about morning glories now, don't we? Okay, sorry. Not me just like messaging my friend about this during the reading. Cat is the best. Of course it's good. Yes, I know it. Don't we know it? Oh my gosh. Okay, I'll let those send to her. Tommy's moving before his brain consciously processes what he's doing. He springboards off the roof, shooting his vines out to a balcony next door and using the momentum propel himself toward Flame. Flame's falling fast, but Tommy moves faster. He retracts his vines mid-air, plants a foot on the side of a building, and pushes off with another toss of his vines. One vine loops around a window ledge on Flame's building. The other shoots out and ties itself around Flame's chest. Half a second later, Tommy slams into Flame's back, and he's caught him. He just has to catch himself now. The two of them scream as Tommy frantically scans for another place to loop his vines. He finds one, but it's a close call. Their feet nearly skim the hood of a car. He thinks he shouts something over the wind. A square? A square. It's just like Minecraft. A square. A swear maybe, but his brain is moving too fast to process it. Vine here, jump there, avoid the light post ahead. He doesn't stop panicking until they crash land on a roof. His vine's the only thing saving them from tumbling down the side. Only then does he take a full breath. Only then does he look down and ask Flame if he's okay, and realize, holy shit, here's my chance. Go home. Tommy's mouth falls open behind the mask. What? You heard me. You shouldn't be out here. The Heroes League doesn't tolerate civilians trying to help out. Even if you have powers, it's still dangerous. You're not trained. But I could be. You could train me, couldn't you? Flame cocks his head, and for a split second, Tommy really thinks he's considering it. Then a laugh, short and spluttered, oddly metallic sounding because of his voice changer, falls from behind Flame's masks. As if I have time to take on a mentee. No. How old even are you? You have to be 18 to join the league. I am 18. His voice cracks on the second word. The brow of Flame's mask rises. Uh-huh. Sure you are. Now go home. Your parents must be worried sick. Tommy flinches at the sting that comes with those words. He doesn't have parents. And even when he did, they never worried about him. Wilbur was the only one. And after their fight today, Tommy's not sure that's still true. Flame gets to his feet, carefully balancing on the roof. He turns to leave, but before he can take a step out, Tommy calls out, I thought heroes were nice! Flame freezes. I am nice. I'm telling you it's not safe for you out here. I just saved your guts! I would have been fine on my own. I had it handled. Oh yeah, because falling off a 7-story building with nothing to catch yourself is having it handled. Flame whirls back around. For the first time, Tommy can really take him all in. He's never been so close to any of the superheroes before, and he has to admit, Flame's costume is cool. His suit is skin tight, pitch black with little red, orange, and yellow highlights licking up the sides of his leggings and around his shirt's collar, like fire. When he shifts, the sun makes them look like little trails of glowing lava. A long ash-gray trench coat cloaks him, the edges torn and withered like fire had eaten away at them. A black mask conceals Flame's eyes and cheekbones, shading his irises to the point where Tommy can't tell what color they are. Below it, a second mask conceals the rest of his face. It's metallic and bulky, obviously the source of his voice changer. Flame's hair is bushy and brown like Wilbur's, but a little more frazzled looking. It dances in the wind as he stands there glaring. I had it handled. I always have it handled. Flame spits. You're not a hero. You're never going to be one. So do us all a favor and stay out of it, all right? Don't make yourself into a problem. With that said, Flame turns, runs, and jumps off the side of the roof. This time, Tommy doesn't try to catch him. The drama! The drama! Oh my gosh! This is literally so much better than what I watched this weekend. Welcome back from the lurking void, Manny. Oh my goodness. What did Danny say?
We do know about Morning Glories, we do.
We do know about Morning Glories, we do! We do! Oh. Alright, let's wrap up this chapter. We're almost done. Leave that one a like. Okay. Boop, 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 boop. He's plucking petals from a pale yellow carnation in the center of his palm when Wilbur comes home. As soon as he hears the apartment door slam shut, he squeezes his fist closed, willing the flower to sink back into his palm. His hand. Yes. He flies from the bed, scrambles out the door, and into the living room ready for... he doesn't know. Affirmation that Wilbur is really here, really home. Some form of comfort after being brutally rejected by Flame, even though Wilbur can never know that happened. Familiarity after having his whole life flipped upside down. He cleaned up the mess he left earlier, so at least Wilbur won't see that. He doesn't know what he's expecting, but he doesn't really care either. He just needs his brother. His brother who maybe isn't mad as Tommy previously thought, because he came back. He didn't leave, he's home, and Tommy thinks he could cry from relief as he swings around the corner and Wilbur's scowling at his phone, leaned up beside the front door. His thumbs move frantically across the screen, keys clicking as he types. He doesn't look up when Tommy walks in. He doesn't look up when Tommy walks in, nor when Tommy takes a hesitant seat on the couch's armrest. Just continues to type. For fuck's sake, Wilbur mutters as a quiet minute has passed. Tommy can hear him backspacing whatever text he'd been about to send and starting a new one. I told him off. What is so difficult to understand about that? Wilbur? For the first time, Wilbur looks up. Tommy? He says. And Tommy's heart jolts at the familiar, surprised, soft way Wilbur looks at him. Like they didn't just argue 40 minutes ago, like nothing happened. Like maybe, just maybe, he would set down the phone and come sit with him, talk to him, like they used to when they were younger. Then Wilbur shakes his head, his eyes clear. Tommy, not now. Tommy's mouth falls open as Wilbur brushes past him and heads for the bedrooms. Will! Not now, alright? Give me a minute. You just disappeared. Where did you go? I thought you... The door to Wilbur's bedroom slams shut. Tommy's ears ring in the silence. Not now. Go home. Don't make yourself into a problem. You're being a problem right now. Go to your room. You're not a hero, and you're never going to be one. So do us all a favor and stay out of it, alright? Tommy clenches his fist as the words ricochet in his mind. He's tired of being dismissed, brushed aside, treated like he's not capable. He thought that part of his life was over when Wilbur adopted him. He would never have to live in another home where the parents ignored him, or where the other kids bullied him, or where he was abused mentally and physically until Wilbur came to save him. Wilbur took him away from all that. But then people started bullying him at school. Teachers wouldn't help, and the principal refused to believe him. Wilbur was too busy to even notice, and when Tommy finally tried to say something to him, he got shot down. He got ignored. He wasn't taken seriously, and all he wants is for someone to fucking listen, to see him and to tell him he is good. He needs his brother. But his brother's voice is muffled on the other side of a wall right now, speaking rapidly over the phone with someone, and Tommy knows better than to interrupt him. Instead, he sits in silence, inhaling and exhaling until the ringing in his ears quiets enough for him to recognize the prickling sensation of flowers blooming in his palms. You're not a hero, and you're never going to be one, Flame had said. Tommy's tired of being dismissed. He knows he can be good. In fact, he can prove it. Oh yeah? He whispers, sliding off the couch and wandering toward the window. It's still open. He's surprised Wilbur didn't notice. Watch me. End of chapter 2. Oh my gosh. Literally so good. Literally so good. I'm in Spain. I'm using your comment without the S. And I'm ready for more. Slay, Tommy. Go do vigilante shit like the hit Taylor Swift song. I can't spell. Go do. Comment. Claps in chat, claps in chat. Here, I'll do one. Clap. Clap. Little golf clap. Oh, that was so good. Oh. Ignore that. Yes, I was watching more Sonic fandub stuff. It's good. It's great, even. Oh my gosh. I have missed SBI Sunday so much. I didn't realize I would miss it this much. What the heck have I been doing all my life? What the heck have I been doing? Oh my gosh. Did y'all like that one? Did y'all like it? I'm gonna subscribe, or I'm already subscribed to Kat. Go ahead and subscribe to Kat if you're not already. Kat has written some really amazing fanfics. Definitely check him out if you're ever in the mood. Oh my goodness, that was so fun! Oh my gosh. Literally so good. I'm glad y'all liked it. Lots of fun. Pain in a pause way. Pain in a pause way. That's how we roll here in the Sleepy Boys Inc. fandom. We literally deal with pain all the time. I gotta go and enjoy the stream so much. I'm so glad. I don't know if I want to end yet. I know it's still SBI Sunday, but maybe we'll do some Minecraft parkour real quick. What time is it? Actually, no, I can't. It's late, and I went to bed at not a decent hour last night, and I would like to redeem myself. I'd like to redeem myself. Turn notifications off. There we go. Okay, so who shall we raid? Who is live tonight that I can send y'all over to? Oh, that's me. Oh, Lackey's live. Sam is live. Let's see. Is anyone... may have slept for a bit of the week with good story. Hey, that's okay. That's the whole point. You know what? I think I'm just gonna end. No raid tonight. I thought someone was gonna be live tonight, but they weren't, but that's okay. So we're just gonna end tonight. I hope that's okay with you guys. Okay. It's time to fluff. All this angst is making me crave fluff. Literally. It's literally so fun. Oh my gosh. Dude. Oh, Manny, thank you so much for that hydrate. Oh my goodness. I'm glad that y'all could chill out with some cozy little streamy stuff. That is why I love doing this. I love providing comfort for the viewers, for my little chatters. That's you. But yes, I'm gonna be ending right here. So be sure, if you're not already, following me on Twitter, on Instagram, subscribe to the YouTube. Make sure you are. I really appreciate everything. And this will be going on the VODs channel in the Sleepy Boys Inc. SBI Sunday playlist. So yes, all the fun stuff. But yeah, I think that's all I got here. I think I will be streaming tomorrow. I don't know what yet, but hopefully something fun. So without further ado, chat, remember, you are valid, you're beautiful, you are so worthy, and I love you all very, very much, and I'll see you all in the next stream. Bye!